Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now, there aren't too many strong Republican contributors on CNN. In fact, there's hardly any, but at least there's Scott Jennings. You know, Scott Jennings is more of that Bush-style neocon, at least from my very surface-level understanding. He's not my favorite Republican, but at least he's no Alyssa Farah Griffin. At least he's willing to hit the hard truths and hit them hard every now and then, and boy, oh boy, did he do that this time. I love it when people don't mince their words. You know, I love it when people don't tiptoe around certain subjects or don't play into the nonsense left-wing propaganda machine, but rather they freaking spike it like a damn volleyball, hitting the ground, making a big old smack sound. And metaphorically, that's exactly what Scott Jennings did here during a panel on CNN talking about Hunter Biden. Democrat actors and the media continue to try to distract and drum up these ridiculous emotional narratives surrounding this topic, but Scott Jennings was having none of it. Let's just say he went there. He actually said this on live TV during a CNN panel, leaving the entire panel in shock, silent, unable to really retort. Well, they tried, but when the actual unadulterated truth is said out loud, it's kind of hard to refute it, huh? Let me show you this moment, and then of course, let's have a conversation about the content itself. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's first start off with this clip right over here.
You know, ultimately, the Bidens are a real family just like everyone else.
Sure, but Scott Jennings, the president has made being a family man a central part of his political identity.
It's not Republicans, with all due respect, who made Hunter Biden into a complete scumbag on this and other issues. The ignoring his own daughter for 4 years, and the President of the United States hanging up a stocking for the dog, and not for his 7th grandchild.
Okay, look, we can also have sympathy for people who are struggling with addiction. Let's keep this conversation respectful.
Listen, I totally agree. And you know where I'm from, a lot of families deal with addiction. And you know who ends up picking up the pieces? The grandparents. And in this case, the grandparents would not acknowledge this little girl. It is offensive. But the bottom line is...
But they have now.
Oh, what a hero. The polling must have been brutal. The polling must have been brutal.
No one ever questioned the heart and integrity of Joe Biden as a family man and as a human being, and the pain and suffering and loss that man has been through, including the struggles he deals with.
So the quote was, "It's not Republicans, with all due respect, who made Hunter Biden into a complete scumbag." Thank you. Finally, someone says it on this ridiculous network. They're trying so hard to create this narrative as if Hunter Biden is just a victim. He's got a substance abuse problem, and people are just taking advantage of Hunter Biden. And Joe's involvement in this whole thing, I mean, he's just a soft-spoken, very caring old man. The story of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden is a story of fatherly love, as Anna Navarro very dishonestly tried to frame it. It's all a bunch of nonsense. This is literal propaganda. It's not Republicans who turned Hunter Biden into a scumbag. Hunter Biden is simply a scumbag. He did it himself. Republicans are simply pointing. Hello, maybe American populace, American voter, pay attention to the current people who are occupying the White House. Maybe it's relevant that the president's son traveled the world for years smoking crack and illegally funneling tens of thousands of dollars into human trafficking rings, writing it off as a business expense, committing tax fraud, all the while illegally acting as a foreign agent, selling access to his father and selling policy to the highest foreign agent bidder. Maybe that's what Republicans are trying to do. Maybe Republicans are trying to point the finger at clear corruption, the obvious Biden criminal racket, and not just trying to craft narratives around Hunter Biden and take advantage of the fact that he's a substance abuser. In fact, for the most part, I think that's a distraction. I think for the most part, Republicans are kind of annoyed with the fact that Hunter Biden has that defense. You know, anything Hunter Biden does, oh, well, it's substance abuse. We should show compassion. Anything Joe Biden does, oh, well, he has dementia. We should show compassion. How about no? You know, conservatives, and I'm speaking from my point of view at least, haven't put any focus on Hunter Biden's substance abuse since like October of 2020. I mean, when the Hunter Biden laptop story dropped, of course we're going to talk about it, but it's never been the focus. The focus has always been in on the big guy. You know, there's a little element of irony here. These Democrat talking heads are complaining that Republicans want to make everything about Hunter and take advantage of his substance abuse, when literally what we're trying to do is make everything not about Hunter, but rather make everything about the Joe Biden connection, the fact that President Joe Biden, the current man sitting in the Oval Office, was likely connected to corrupt criminal bribery schemes using his son Hunter as a proxy. That's the focus. The only people who want to keep the focus on Hunter Biden are these dishonest Democrat paid actor shills in the media who want to distract from the fact that Joe Biden's involved. Republicans are trying to make Hunter look bad. They're taking advantage of him. Again, Scott Jennings said it right. Republicans, with all due respect, aren't the ones who made Hunter into a complete scumbag. He did pretty good work himself accomplishing that image. We're simply pointing it out. And we're very focused on pointing out the fact that his father is the biggest scumbag of all. I mean, this guy can't even acknowledge his own grandchild. For years, I think the young girl is 4 years old, so for 4 years, he has refused to even acknowledge her existence. Putting up Christmas stockings, as I heard, if I heard that correct, for the family dog, and not for the 7th grandchild that Hunter Biden brought to this earth. Here's Joe Biden getting questioned on it, trying to spin it, claim that Peter Doocy lacks class and isn't a good man for asking the question.
Meeting with the mayor. I'm wondering if you have a comment on this report and court filing out of Arkansas that your son Hunter just made you a grandfather again.
No, that's a private matter. I have no comment.
But
only you would ask that.
We gotta go.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
Thank you guys. This is all
Classy.
the time we have.
The only person who lacks class, the only person who isn't a good man and is a real piece of work, is you, Piss Pants Biden, who refuses to acknowledge his own grandchild because it doesn't fit the political brand that you so deeply try to curate, that the Biden family is a good old American, white picket fence, green grass, from a small town in Delaware family. I mean, give me a break. Now, finally, Joe Biden admits, or acknowledges, the existence of his 7th grandchild.
I have 7 grandkids, 4 of them, 5 of them old enough to talk on the phone. You know, every day I either text them or call them.
But let's really focus on what led us here. We didn't get here from the goodness of Uncle Joe's heart. We got here because of the polling data. The polls were essentially conclusive. The American people didn't like the fact, they thought it was a bad look, that the Biden family was neglecting and rejecting a 4-year-old child's existence. And now all of a sudden, Joe's trying to flip the script because of polls, because of public sentiment and public relations. Is it me? Am I the one who is crafting this illusion that the Bidens are bad people? No, I'm simply observant. I can see it. I have eyeballs, ears, and a working brain, and I'm able to see information about this family. I'm able to see the way that they act, the way that they pretend, they portray a certain image, but in reality, behind the scenes, it's something very different. I don't need to misrepresent truth. I don't need to craft a narrative to make the point to argue that Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the whole Biden criminal racket, well, they're simply bad people. They do it themselves. They do the job for me. I simply acknowledge its existence. Let's just leave it at that. Anyways, I think I made my point, and I'm sure you guys feel very similarly. There's really no reason to push the issue further. You guys get it. That's what I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the video. You know that we would love to have you here as part of the community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.